Everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using the Studio Calico double scoop kit, and it was a September kit. This is the 23rd layout I made using this kit, and it took me 51 minutes to complete. And this time I'm going to start the layout a little different. Instead of showing you all the products, I'm actually have my sewing machine out because I had to change the thread and everything. I want some bright pink thread to go again with that chevron paper. So I'm going to sew down the pattern paper to the side of the layout. And I'm just going to go right down, sort of like, the pattern paper is about 4 by 12, and I'm just going to go right down the side. And then I'm going to make a couple more just sort of lines using the thread. I'm going to make some directly on that pattern paper, and then a couple more spots on the layout just to kind of decide where my clusters are going to be. And now I'm going to mount the two photos on a white cardstock because I find that pink, like I said, it was so hard to match pink. So the only one that truly matched was that light pink cardstock, and then I found with white it really made it pop. And then, like I said, I sewed two other spots on the layout with that bright thread. And I'm going to try and use my sewing machine a little bit more. It doesn't come naturally to me, but I did buy all those threads and I want to try and use it a little bit more. And that's why I took it out right off the bat. There was a piece of that pink and I guess deeper pink pattern paper, and it's just lined paper, so I'm going to use that. There's a frame that came from the Maggie Holmes fabric frame kit, and this is the piece of wood veneer that Maureen gave me in Iraq. And on the last layout I just kind of showed you how I inked it up with ink, and then I just put some liquid glass on top of it. And I knew I didn't want to use it for that layout, but I wanted just to kind of show you how I did it, and then it was nice and dry for this layout. I'm going to do two more pieces using that technique on wood veneer. I'm going to do it on a heart and on an arrow. And now I want to put some pattern paper in behind that frame so it has, so you can't see the different pattern papers in the background, and it's going to help me kind of help me put some clusters of embellishments. And then on one side it's going to be sort of my subtitle. I'm going to put on in that frame, I should say. I'm looking to see if I could use some of those stars that came in the kit, but I'm not going to end up using it. I had taken out that City Girl sticker a couple layouts ago and I didn't use it, and I'm going to use it on this layout. I punched out a few circles from one of the pattern papers and I'm going to use that up. I'm going to glue that sticker on some white, I guess it was a Project Life card. The centerpiece was white, so I glued it on that, and then I just kept the rest of it to, add on another layout. I had one Dear Lizzie, or maybe I have one more Dear Lizzie label, and I'm going to use it on this layout. And again, I'm finding some remnants of those tags that I'm just cutting around and just using the outline of it to help me kind of ground my embellishment clusters. I'm going to take out those Studio Calico letters that came in this kit, and I hadn't used them yet. And like I said, I'm going to do the subtitle in one of those frames, and it's just going to say Candyland. And it was just a store. We were walking up the streets of Niagara Falls and we came up on this store, and the whole thing was just candy. And some of the girls had gone swimming that day, and my daughter's roommate, she got hurt in the competition the day before, and but she didn't want to go to the hospital, but she didn't feel like she could go. It was slides and stuff, and it's a good thing she didn't go, because when we got back, so the poor kid got hurt on Sunday. We never got home till Monday. They went to the ER Monday afternoon or Monday night, and she had a broken arm. So that whole time, she had a broken arm. And these kids are so tough. I mean, she finished the competition. She, didn't drop anybody. She's a base, and, with a broken arm. And as soon as they were done their routine, she dropped right to the floor and was holding her arm. And I walked up to her, and her arm just swelled right up. So while we were waiting for the rest of the team, while they were having fun, we kind of walked with her up and down the one of the streets, and then she saw this store that was full of candy, so we walked in there, and her mom bought her a whole bunch of candy. So the title of the page, there's a few titles actually. There's Candyland, which is a subtitle. There's that little label, it says is better with you, so I put Sugar Rush is better with you. So that's going to be, the word sugar is going to be right on the layout. And then I'm going to use that label that said yeah, and I just put yeah baby, and so there's a few titles on the page. And I'm not going to do too much journaling. I'm just going to kind of summarize, that here she was, walking around with a broken arm, and we walked up to this candy store. So now that I feel like I have enough embellishments, once I feel like I have enough, I start. Okay, so the recording had stopped. So basically all I was saying was, once I feel like I have enough embellishments to put in each of the cluster, then I start gluing everything down. And there's not too many layers on this layout, and I'm not sure if I said this already, because this is like the third or fourth time that I've had to kind of repeat kind of what I was saying. So basically there's just the side where I put the pattern paper. I mounted the photos on white cardstock. I use that lined pink pattern paper, and then that was the only layering. And then I just added a doily that I cut in half, and then I punched out a couple of circles just to kind of soften the edges, because I did have a lot of things that were kind of rectangles or squares, and I just wanted to soften the edges. And then now I'm going to glue down those frames, or that frame from Maggie Holmes that I cut in half, and that's where I'm going to put one of the subtitles. It's going to say Candyland. And then the bottom cluster, basically there's just a stitching that I did with my sewing machine, and then I took a piece of Project Life card. I took a label that I just that I keep just the outline, and I love to use that now for grounding my embellishments. And I'm going to put a wood veneer heart in that bottom cluster. And the top cluster, I'm going to put again a piece of leftover tab, I guess, and then that wood veneer that I did last page, because now it's nice and dry. And then I'm going to put one of those arrows that was in one of the sticker sheets, and it has a little heart. And then I'm going to put some foam tape in behind that tag that says is better with you, and then I'm going to put the main title right with that tag, and it's just going to be Sugar Rush is better with you, and it's the word sugar is going to be in pink foam letters, and it's going to be right on the page. And then I love using my quick dry adhesive to glue down those little bits and pieces. It's super permanent. Like, you better be sure that you want that thing down when you decide, because there's just no getting that thing off after. You're just going to rip your page. So I believe at some point the battery's going to die. So basically all I did was I took some floss that Annie gave me in a rack, and I'm going to separate it, and then I'm going to glue it down in 4 of the clusters. And then I'm going to put some of the stars that came in this month's kit. And I'm going to put the subtitle right here in that frame. And then I'm also going to add some mist in pink and in white. I'm going to use that sticker to the right of the layout that says City Girl. And then, what else did I do? Oh, that sticker that says yeah, I'm going to put it at the top of the layout, and then I'm going to put a arrow of wood veneer, and I did the same treatment. I put some pale tomato ink and then put some liquid glass over top, and then I'm going to take some letters from October Afternoon, and I'm going to spell out baby under yeah, and then rush above the label that says is better with you. And then I'm going to glue everything down. And this is where I'm going to do that arrow. And usually I like to do stuff before I start the page, because at this point I'm going to have to put the liquid glass and then set it down where I think I want it to go and not move it, because it takes literally hours to dry. So I'm just going to put it right up there next to the word or the sticker that says yeah. And also, I believe when I was taking the pictures, I think it fell off, so it might not be in the finishing, in the end pictures, but I found it once all the pictures were taken, so I did put it back exactly where it is on the layout right now. So I love taking the floss and kind of separating it all and making like kind of a messy bundle with the floss, and it just adds color, and it just makes it so that it's different than twine. And because Annie had given that to me in a rack, I just wanted to make sure that I used it in as many ways as possible. I also took a heart from the sticker sheet and I added it right there under Sugar Rush, and the battery must have died, so I just kind of finished up with the misting and all that little bit of stuff. And now I'm going to show you close-ups of all the different clusters and how they look. And that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.